Hi, this is Michael. Welcome to my channel, Widower 2024. I appreciate you tuning in to watch episode 3. This will be where we're going to talk about support systems and family and friends just being there for you. As always, if you could like, subscribe, and comment on the video, I'd appreciate it. Helps the algorithm. Hopefully more people will be able to see the videos and find out what we're kind of talking about. So I'd appreciate that. So let's talk about those support systems. Once your person passes, you're in a whole new world. Immediately after you lose your person, you're going to call somebody to be there for you. The first call that I made after 911 was to my mother. Mom lives right next door to me. As a matter of fact, the background that you see in this video is probably of her yard more than it is of mine. So she came right over and was able to provide me with support. Now, that meant basically sitting there, chit-chatting with me, talking about what was going on with the police, what she had experienced with Dad's passing, what to expect next, which was real beneficial. Asking if she could make coffee or get me some water or was I hungry? And I wasn't. But, all those things that people do to try and help out. Of course, we notified my sister. My sister immediately jumped in the car, headed to the house, was a great amount of support. She arrived. She took the sheets off of where my wife had passed. Made sure that those were washed and cleaned, so that was something I didn't have to worry about. Did some minor moving of things in the room, like moving my wife's slippers so that I wouldn't trip over them when I walked into the bedroom. Just basic stuff like that. Kind of hiding maybe some of the immediate stuff that I wouldn't want to look at. And just doing a great job of making sure that my needs were thought of and considered. And of course that type of stuff is something that you don't think about when you're sitting there and this is happening to you. Then of course news started getting out, start getting text messages, have other family members contact. With my wife being British, we of course had to ask people to spread the news to those that we didn't have contact for. So of course I contacted my wife's sister, my sister-in-law. That was a devastating call to make. And then I had to call her brother. Again, another devastating call to make, but they're there in their own way. Of course, they were very kind to me to make sure that they asked about my needs and my wants and how they could help, and they kind of put their own wants and needs behind them. And that just shows how how people are really sensitive to what someone goes through in these instances. My sister-in-law and her significant other were very, very important when it came time to do my wife's celebration of life. They flew over from England. They kind of helped me through that period, along with everyone else. Unfortunately, Ruth's brother had taken a really bad spill and had injured his back and was unable to make it to that celebration, but was there online, was very, very supportive. And sometimes we have to realize that people can only support us in the way that they can. I mean, again, this was a situation that he could not control, and we still have plans for him to come over with his wife, and I'm excited to see them, where we'll have our own reminiscence sessions and chats, and I'm sure cries and everything else that goes along with that. So I mostly talked about family, and there were so many others who were just helpful and offered to be there and were supportive. But there's also friends and friends of the family and coworkers that are also all supportive. And I have a few major influences that really, really helped me out. My friend Patrick was of great support. Unfortunately, he'd already been someone who had gone through the same situation that I was going through. And the one piece of advice that he gave me that you will find in the description of all of my videos is to get grief counseling. I'm not really going to lament on that in this particular video, but again, it's important, and I'm very grateful that he turned me on to that idea, and I did it, and it's been helpful. And without his encouragement, I probably wouldn't have done that. Also had my friend and coworker Christine, who had also gone through being a widow, and she was a great resource on what to expect. And as an old psych nurse, it was probably good for her to mention some of the emotional components and some of the thought processes that went along with that. So I was very, very grateful for her input. And then just everyone else in general just offering to be helpful or supportive, or to listen to my stories, or to understand that maybe I wasn't going to make a meeting because, I don't know, I was going to be busy crying, or I was going to be just too distant to even listen to the topic of the meeting. So there was a lot of support on that end as well, of which I'm grateful for, and thank everyone who provided that level of support. So I think I'm going to wrap up this video on that note. Thank you to everyone who helped. Again, please like, subscribe, and comment on the video. I would appreciate that. And thank you all again. Have a good one. Goodbye.